let's dive right back into comic book news. We talked about our pick of the week. Now we are last week in comics. We're going to go back in time. So, again, great weeks in comics recently. So many good books, but we've picked a couple to spotlight here. Yeah, let's start with the first one.
A Superman, Son of Kal-El by Tom Taylor. This is the first annual for Jonathan Kent. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna kind of dub this book my favorite new book of the year, ongoing book.
Yeah,
and that's that means a lot because I never read Superman, but this is kind of how do I put this? It's everything I want in a comic book and more, right? So this one is the annual, comes out once a year. So we see at the very beginning that guy down there, Lex Luthor, is in jail, and he's talking to Kal-El, Superman, playing a game of chess, which comes up later in the comic. But they're just discussing. Lex wants to change the world. Superman doesn't really want him to. He wants him to sit in jail and spend the rest of his days in there. After that, we catch back up with Jonathan Kent, and he has a special guest come to his house, and it is Batman. Why I like Tom Taylor so much and his writing and this book is because of the little nuggets of the DC universe that he puts in. He's always adding characters and little backstory. So Batman comes, Jonathan asks him, "Can I get you a drink?" Batman replies with, "Could I get an Earl Grey tea? If you have it." Jonathan says, "Of course we have it. Alfred always sends us a case of Earl Grey tea." What was it? Every month? Every week?
Every month. Yeah, I love that part. That was so cool.
And Bruce Wayne says, "Wow, I didn't know that Alfred sends all my friends and close family Earl Grey tea just because if I drop by, I'll want an Earl Grey tea." But Batman gives him a little. I don't read Superman. What are those things called?
So I think it's a memory. It's like a memory crystal for the Fortress of Solitude.
Yes, and he says, "Superman, Clark Kent wanted me to give this to you." So do you think Batman's going to kind of be Jonathan's pseudo father figure going on for a bit?
I don't think so. I think he's Tom Taylor's writing Nightwing as well, so I think he's going to lean more on the Nightwing angle of it. But this was a nice touch. You also forgot one of the really funny moments where when Jonathan's at home, there's a knock at the door. And he's like, "Oh, this is strange." And then he goes and opens the door, and it's Batman. He's like, "Batman knocks?" He's like, "I thought you just appear in our kitchen." And then Lois is like, "Oh, he tried that once." And Batman's like, "I will not make that mistake again." So it's really cool. There's some nice humor. I totally agree with what you're saying. This particular book has everything that a comic reader should want. That sense of history, but also a new character, making their place in the world. And like I said, just trying to navigate the legacy of your father while he's not around. So yeah, continue, man. This is a great book. This annual is really good.
And it's a great jumping on point if you haven't. What are they? 5, 6 issues in? If you haven't picked up
issue 5.
I think they're almost at trade, right? Trades are usually 1 to 6, so it's a great jumping on point if you want to get caught up on the story going forward. But Batman gives him the crystal there, and Jonathan's going to go figure out what Clark wanted to tell him. So he's flying off to the Fortress of Solitude, and this is why I like him so much. He sees a polar bear stranded on a melted iceberg, and he's like, "Okay, I'll help you." He grabs the polar bear, flies him off to safety. Polar bear looks at him. He's like, "What's wrong with you, man? You hungry?" Polar bear kind of gives him a little nod. So he goes and grabs him a whole bunch of berries from around, leaves him at the bottom of the bear, and he's like, "Oh, you're pregnant. I didn't know that, but I'm not going to go club a seal for you to eat."
Yeah.
And he just flies away. It's just the little cute, clever moments that this book has.
He's human. Like, they show his humanity. They really do a good job of placing, of you really feeling that this guy is genuine, right? So
And then he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and surprise, surprise, it's Clark Kent is his crystal. It's the video he sees, or I don't know how it works. Not a Superman fan, but I love this book. So
yeah.
him and Clark have a little conversation. Clark says he'll always be here for Jonathan. Any questions he has, feel free to ask. If he needs help with anything, feel free to ask. And Jonathan says, I don't think you can actually help me. I have 2 questions for you. When are you coming back? And what was the second one?
And where are you?
And where
Where
are
are
you?
you? And when are you coming back?
And it kind of just takes Clark by surprise, because he's like, that's all you need to know. It just shows to me that this Superman's going to make his own path. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to play by Clark's rules. He's just going to do what he can to make the world a better place.
Definitely.
From there, he has a little chat with his father, and then he goes back home, and we get a little tidbit of Lex. He's out of jail, and he's how do I say it? Up to no good. He sent all these other crime bosses, criminals. What is it? What is that? An iPad? It looks like an iPad.
Yep.
Maybe it's
some type of device.
A Lex pad. We'll call it a Lex pad.
Yeah.
And he says, all you crime bosses, all you criminals, you are going to pay me, what is it, $100 million each?
1.7 billion.
1.7 billion each. And they all kind of look at it like, yeah, we're not doing that. And he's like, oh, by the way, there's a lot of nanites in this box that are now attacking you from the inside. And it's just going to take one snap of the fingers for them to kill you. So he's playing the power play here.
Yeah.
They hesitate. They're like, did he actually put invisible nanites in here, or is he just bluffing? His personal secretary asks him, hey, are you actually going to kill those people? And he's like, I don't know. We'll see.
But it's so cool because Tom Taylor nails Lex. Like, when Lex is talking to these guys, he's like, you know me. He's like, I don't care. I will do whatever it takes. I have no qualms with killing you guys right now. So you can test me on it, or you can pay. And he's like, I know how much you guys are worth. That's a drop in the bucket. Right. So it was just a cold, calculating move, but it was pure Lex. Like, so again, Tom Taylor's proven that he can nail writing the good guys, writing the bad guys. Apparently he's writing fantasy. He's writing alternate reality. He's writing everything. This guy right now, like, 2021 has been the year of Tom Taylor. So kudos for that guy for just killing it.
Spoilers, they all pay except one.
Yep.
So Lex buys his own skyscraper, writes LexCorp on the side, and the shadow of the LexCorp falls on the Daily Planet. And now the Daily Planet is in the shadows of LexCorp, which Jonathan doesn't like, because the Daily Planet should be the tallest building in Shine. What happened again here? Who sent the robots? That was the little mystery, right?
Yeah, that was the little mystery and the misdirect. So it's apparently somebody was attacking LexCorp's new building with LexCorp's own powered robot suits and stuff, and then of course Lex, I guess maybe orchestrated this whole thing, and maybe was counting on Superman to come in to save it. But yeah, there's a team up that happens, and Jonathan's like, hey, I'm not teaming up, but I don't want innocents to get hurt. So again, pure good Superman moment and stuff, and pretty it's just a pretty classic scene that plays out, but with some modern little twists in there too.
And it had the humor that is always nice. It's right there. Oh, no, the panel before, the page before, Jonathan gets hit by one of the beams, and Lex looks at him. He's like, I bet that hurt. That hurt Superman some of the time. He's like, yeah, it kind of hurt. It was a team up, but it wasn't a team up.
Yeah.
So at the end, they have a little discussion. Lex asks Jonathan to come complete the game of chess that Clark started in jail. And Jonathan says, I've never played chess before, but I need to talk to you about something. So Yeah, I'll do it. So they get to the top of LexCorp, and spoilers: Jonathan beats Lex on his
Yep.
way up to the top of the tower. After cleaning up all the rubble from their little battle before, he studies chess as much as he can. I think he said he had 6 minutes to learn everything he could, and
Yep.
that was everything about chess. So he was super flying through the chess books. And he actually calls Lex out. He's like, "I remember you using this move when you were 6 and you won the tournament. That's
Yep.
how I beat you." At the ending, though, I think it hits. This is why I like the book so much. It kind of hits the real world. Jonathan asks Lex to do more to help save the world. He's got all this money. He's got more money than anybody can ever imagine. Why isn't he trying to
Make the
stop?
planet better.
Yep. Because in the first issue, I think we saw forest fires that Jonathan's trying to stop, and then there was wasn't there bad weather in one of them? There's just been a
Oh
whole bunch
yeah.
of natural disasters
Yep.
that
Natural
Jonathan's
disasters. Yep.
put a stop to, and he tells Lex straight up. He's like, "I get why rich people don't want to save the world. They're gonna die before it gets bad. Why not live it up while they can? But you, Lex, you are gonna be here long after everyone's gone. So why not protect the world, save the world for yourself?" And it kind of triggers something in Lex where he's like, "Okay, I'll help you."
Yeah, or he'll
Right?
give it some thought, and that's
He'll,
something that Superman never got Lex to do. Lex was always concerned with just beating Superman, and he would do whatever it took to do that. So it was no consideration about the planet and stuff. So it's showing that there is a difference between Jonathan Kent Superman and Clark Kent Superman, and that how they tackle issues and problems is just fundamentally different. So this isn't just your, you know, Superboy book. This is a different take on it. And I think that's the strength of the book too, because like you said, for you yourself, Jesse, you're not a huge Superman fan, but you're really digging this book. So it's about making that connection to that character and just believing in the story. And I think again, that's what Tom Taylor is doing an excellent job with it. It's a book that I think everybody should be reading. I've said that since the first issue and stuff. So if you haven't picked it up yet, definitely put it on your radar, and check it out. Give at least one issue a shot. And if you can honestly say you don't like it, then comment up and tell us why. Because I'm freaking loving the book.
yeah,
Like Jesse said, probably one of the best books of the last year, for sure.
and Tom Taylor definitely. I'm going to dub him right now. My favorite author of this year. Every one of
Yeah,
the books he puts out has just been unreal. With Nightwing, with Dark Knights
Dark
of
Knights of
Steel,
Steel. Yep.
with Son of
Dark
Kal-El,
Ages.
Dark Ages. Like every
Yep.
book he's put out has just been a winner in my opinion. Like
Yeah. No.
phenomenal. He's the type of guy to look at the character's backstory, read up as much as he can on the character, and just propel the character forward to the next level.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. Really, really cool. All right, so what else we got for last week in comics? And this is one that's both near and dear to us as big Star Wars fans. So let's talk about Star Wars issue 19,
Now,
brand new story arc.
before we
Started,
start
right?
here, though, I think we're missing two people. Usually we have two more people with us when we talk about Star Wars, no?
That's true. Our Star Wars book club crew that we review Star Wars. We were doing the Thrawn trilogy. Yep. So let's give a shout out to Megan and Scott. I know they haven't delved into the comic books yet, but maybe this might be the comic to recommend to them. So yeah, we'll check in with them later on. So what did you think about this one, Jesse? This had a lot of references to other Star Wars expanded universe stuff. Not
Yes.
expanded universe, but it's connecting a lot of the other Star Wars realms and media. So let's take us through this one.
So this is the first of a new arc. Luke Skywalker is back. I haven't read Star Wars. I heard about all the references in this book, so I decided to pick it up, see what's going on. Apparently, Luke's back. He's been missing for a little bit. He's been off on his own little adventures. He's been letting Leia, Han, Boba Fett, because they just got out of the War of the Bounty Hunters. they've been shining in the Star Wars books. But no, Luke's back, and he's trying to train himself. So this takes place in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So he doesn't have anybody to give him the Jedi knowledge he needs to propel him to the next level to beat Vader. So he's heard rumors, inklings. He gets a scripture, not a scripture, a tablet, a document with all these planets to check out that might have Jedi materials on it that can help him in his training. So he asks Leia politely, "Hey, can I take off and just go do my own thing?" And she says, "Of course. Why not? Like, you haven't been here all along. Take off again." But he goes on a little adventure of his own with R2-D2. He goes to this planet called Ilum. Where's Ilum from? Most
Ilum
recently,
is the most recently was from Jedi Fallen Order. But if you've also know it from Clone Wars and stuff, you know that is one of the planets where the Jedi go to get their lightsaber crystals. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This is from the video game. So that's the last time we had seen Ilum. And
Yep.
man, what an amazing level that was in the game. That was a lot of fun.
That's where you get your new lightsaber, right?
Yep, that's where you forge your lightsaber in the game and it becomes double-bladed. Spoiler alert.
So Ilum, I believe, is Star Killer Base. It's rumored to be Star Killer Base in the new trilogy. If you haven't seen or played the games or watched Clone Wars, it's apparently Star Killer Base.
Interesting.
And then he takes him on another trip to what's that top planet there? I can't read it. That's not important, but the bottom one, Lothal. Where's Lothal from?
Lothal from my favorite Star Wars of the past little while, Star Wars Rebels.
Yes.
There we go.
Star Wars Rebels. So Luke's doing a little lap of all these known places. He leaves Lothal. I was a little bummed out. He didn't spend much time there. He didn't see any of the Rebels crew.
Yeah.
He makes it to this planet where he's got this real strong feeling that something's there. Sorry, I can't remember the planet name, but he sees all these stormtroopers, and he's like, they don't recognize me, so I'm going to go Jedi mind trick him. He goes up to them, tries to do the Force Jedi mind trick, and they say, carry on, kid. What are you doing here? Do we have to arrest you? It didn't work. He hasn't developed that skill yet.
Yeah, he's not strong enough.
Yeah, he doesn't believe himself yet with the Force. So he goes back. He's bummed out. He's like, you know what? I got to find what they're hiding behind these walls. Some guy pulls him in off the side of the street, and he says, I see that lightsaber on your belt there. Are you a Jedi? Luke is kind of hesitant at first, but he doesn't sense any aggression from this guy, and he says, yeah, I'm a Jedi. Well, I'm trying to be one. And he's like, I knew a Jedi once. He saved my life. He gave us his ship so we could escape a planet that was being terrorized by Darth Vader. And I didn't read the Darth Vader books when they were coming out, but apparently this character was in the first few issues of the Darth Vader standalone series.
Oh, cool.
And we actually see what he's talking about in the Darth Vader run.
Nice.
So it's gone full circle here. So
they're picking up their threads from all over, from comics, from video games, from animation, from movies. It's so super cool.
And he said he's not a Jedi. He's like, I don't know what it's like to be a Jedi, but you just gotta be calm and relaxed. And he kind of coaches Luke, kind of gives him belief in himself. And Luke goes back to those stormtroopers to try again, and he gets what he's after.
Yep.
He says, I need what you're hiding, and they go get it, and it's a Jedi holocron. And he goes, he meditates, he opens the holocron, and lo and behold, it's Yoda.
Yes.
To teach him the ways of the Jedi. So it's very neat because in Empire Strikes Back, Luke is left Dagobah to save his friends, and then in we see him next in Return of the Jedi after losing a hand, and he's a crazy Jedi. He's doing backflips. He's Jedi mind tricking everybody, and this was a kind of loophole in the series where everyone's like, how did he go from losing his hand and losing a battle to Darth Vader to being such
being a master? Yeah.
So we're kind of going on an adventure with Luke on his training and his struggles and how he's going to become that Jedi we see from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. So yeah, crazy good issue, good jumping on point, especially if you do like, and who doesn't like Luke Skywalker. We just finished up like the War of the Bounty Hunter series, which you can pick up on in trade paperback right now. But you can also grab this latest issue and follow this story. So that's really, really cool.